go ahead because it's definitely 6:02. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you to Bitcoin Business Basics with Raina Kelts. We are excited to have her here today. She is from Gilded, and she's on the stage, ladies and gentlemen, but she's really on YouTube. And you'll be able to hear her through my voice so we can make this happen. But it is really, really a great day. We want to welcome you to Bitcoin Business Basics. And the reason why we hold this once a month is so that several people that are looking to expand in the Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, and blockchain space really get a glimpse of what is possible, not actually what's futuristic, what's actually happening, how technology is changing, all those things that we thought we knew, how technology is just making things so much easier, and how we need to be wrapping our brains around some of the changes that are happening and maybe trying to figure out what verticals are out there for our own lives. So again, live on stage, we do have Miss Raina, but she's also on YouTube. If you want to take a look at maybe some of the illustrations that she has, you would have to go to Crypto Blockchain Plug on YouTube to see those things. But I'm going to put the speaker close to the phone on Clubhouse so you all can hear from her. So Raina, welcome well, you're on the Black Bitcoin Billionaires on Clubhouse, but welcome to Bitcoin Business Basics with Crypto Blockchain Plug. How are you today?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thank you. Thanks for having me. This is exciting.
Well, thank you for having us, as spending your hour with us. We're really excited to have you. So I know that you have some really original, great Bitcoin stories. And I'm just going to start out by asking you, Miss Raina, from Gilded, for those, and I keep reiterating because people enter and exit the room so they know who they're dealing with or talking to. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, and just tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do in the space currently?
So I started off as an evangelist, right? I just fell in love with technology and I wanted to tell everyone about it. I was that Bitcoin person. I was the Bitcoin girl in my entire family. And so that's kind of how it started out. At some point, I started to understand the technology more and what the possibilities were. And I really, business sales, B2B sales was my background. And so I was like, well, what could this do for businesses? Right? Cross-border payments was the first thing that came to mind, right? For a lot of us, we can't sell what overseas, right? Because the currency exchange, the time, it's cost prohibitive. And with Bitcoin, anyone can sell anything overseas. You don't have to worry about the time, the conversion for different currencies and things like that. The enormous fees that you pay for converting one currency to another, you can accept Bitcoin for payment. And from there, I was all in on what we could do with businesses. I spoke to the leader of our New Orleans Ethereum meetup. And he just kept telling me, wait, it's coming. And one day he introduced me to our CEO. So
wow.
Our whole team met at the New Orleans Ethereum meetup.
Wow, that's interesting. So how long have you been in Bitcoin? Let me ask that too.
Well, that's a better story, actually.
All right. Let's hear that.
All right. So in February of 2016, I was out with my girlfriends singing karaoke.
I like this already.
Right? So I met this guy who was sitting across the bar giving us, looks like, oh, why do we have this here tonight? And we started talking on our first, second, third date, somewhere in there, one of our earliest dates. He gave me $5 of Bitcoin. He made me download a wallet to my phone, and I wrote down the private key on the back of a receipt from the bar. and
Wow.
and he gave me $5 worth of Bitcoin, and he told me that this was going to change the world just as much as the internet did.
Wow. So $5, you wrote your seed words on the back of a receipt in the club.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that's classic right there. Okay, so then what happened from there?
Well, I mean, I thought he was crazy. You can't make money. That's illegal. There's no way you can't make new money. What is that? I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. And, he tried to explain it to me. He was really passionate as I am today about it. And so I just kept listening. And then one day he turned me on to Andreas Antonopoulos.
Well, let me ask you the golden question. Do you still have that receipt with those seed words on it? And do you still have access to that $5?
So I not only have access to the $5, I don't sell Bitcoin. I only buy it.
That is awesome. That is awesome. That is awesome.
I buy other coins as well, but I don't sell Bitcoin. Once whatever I do gets to Bitcoin, it's there for the duration.
All right. That's what it's supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do. We say that all the time, and we're not providing any financial advice. Let me make that clear. We're just talking about our personal things that we do. So again, no professional advice is being administered here. So this is for information and entertainment purposes only. So So I also have to ask another question. Is that gentleman still, do you still talk to him? The gentleman that introduced you to Bitcoin?
Well, not only do I talk to him, I was going to share the screen. Share screen. Here you go. We just got back from vacation.
Shut up. That's my favorite word. Shut. Oh, and he has a Bitcoin established. I love it. I love it. Oh, that is an awesome picture. Awesome picture. Well,
so I had that one queued up.
Congratulations. That's
what happened? Oh.
No, you're good. You're good. You're still there. And for those of you on Clubhouse, ladies and gentlemen, we are interviewing the lovely Raina Casbon-Kelts, and she is with, we'll let her tell you about her company in a little while, but we're interviewing her, and you have to hear her voice through my phone because we're trying to do this on YouTube, which you can go to, as well as on Clubhouse to give those of you that are driving or not in a place where you can get to the computer an opportunity to listen to the incredible information that she's going to share with you today. So in your growth in cryptocurrency, so you said he turned you on to Mr. Antonopoulos, which was a great thing. And in your growth in this cryptocurrency space, what are you really feeling about the amount of women that are getting involved in the space? How are you feeling about that these days? Does there need to be more, or is there, what are you feeling about that?
So I have a theory. I don't know if the guys like it or not, but I don't really care. So women make financial decisions for the family, and we are consumers.
Yes.
If the world wants cryptocurrency to reach mass adoption, women have to use it.
Yes.
Men don't spend enough money.
No, they don't spend enough money. But then let me kind of reel this in, because I'm going to play the devil's advocate here. Well, Raina just said and Najah just said that they don't spend their Bitcoin. So how is that going to help the velocity or the revolution of Bitcoin if we're all buying and holding?
Because at some point, the volatility will lessen over time.
Okay.
Right? As Bitcoins are distributed, more and more people actually buy Bitcoin.
Yes.
Then it's more and more distributed across the planet. More people will start to accept it, and the value of a Bitcoin will simmer down.
Yes.
over time. I mean, it will definitely get less volatile over time. It's a brand new asset.
Definitely, definitely. And I agree with you that in order for Bitcoin to reach mass adoption, it's got to be utilized by those fabulous women all around the world, because you are absolutely correct. And although we love our men, that is fact. I think that is just a great fact. And in our meeting earlier today, we had a marketing meeting and we were talking about marketing of Bitcoin and who the consumers are in reference to where marketing dollars are being spent. And as people start to look around at the different businesses, we are talking about Bitcoin business basics. As we start to look at the marketing on television, it is geared towards women. A lot of it, and a lot of it is more geared towards African American women. If you start to pay attention to a lot of the stuff that's come across our TV lines, and so I just wanted to point that out. But as a business owner and working with businesses, how do you see Bitcoin becoming beneficial to the business owner?
So, in my opinion, the best way to get your hands on Bitcoin is to work for it.
Hmm. Hmm.
Buying it's just a different experience. But when
Hmm.
you work for it, you accept it for payment in your business. You tell your boss you want to get a portion of your salary in Bitcoin. As
And
those things happen, it grows so much faster at that point.
that's an awesome tip, and I hope that some of you are hearing that. And so for people who are in the space, they're hearing accept Bitcoin for payment at your job or things like that. And we know that Russell Okung is one of the first individuals who was with the NFL that just this year took half of his football NFL salary in Bitcoin. And I want to say that from the time he took Bitcoin as his salary to the present, the price of Bitcoin has decreased. And so, what would you say to somebody that's really worried about that volatility? Because there is a differential in when he started and accepted his payroll as opposed to right now. What would you say to that person that's really worried about that price differential?
The dollar value of a Bitcoin will mean nothing.
Okay, expound on
It,
that for us a little bit.
because if you value Bitcoin against a dollar, that's just for traders to do. That's not that's not for people who are using Bitcoin. When more people own Bitcoin,
Mhm.
Bitcoin will be able to be a unit of account.
All right.
So so it won't be just that's $50,000 and I'll take this much Bitcoin for it. It will be, ma'am, that will be zero point 0.3 Bitcoin.
Right. A unit of account. And I cannot say that any better. We've got to start looking at Bitcoin as a unit of accounts. And that is awesome. I'm glad that you brought that out. And we're in a community that's relatively new. There's some of us that have been around longer than others, obviously. But we have a really new audience that's really trying to figure out how to get into the nuts and bolts of this. And I know that you have some illustrations to kind of show us if we want, if you don't mind bringing some of those up and just giving us a couple of explanations. And for those of you that are on Clubhouse, you will have the opportunity probably in about 15 minutes to maybe ask a couple questions, and then we will definitely open up the floor for questions. So, um, yes, if you want to share, and again, we're on YouTube live, but she is on the stage. But for the purpose of not having the feedback, we just muted her. But you can follow her. Definitely follow her on social media. She's new to Clubhouse because of the fact that she was on Android, and Android just got on there, and she is Raina underscore crypto. But if you go to social media, you can find her. Her name is Raina Casbon-Kelts, Kelts. For those of you who cannot see the screen, again, Raina. Raina is spelled Raina. Casbon-Kelts. And you're going to want to take this name down because she's going to tell you about her company and really have some interesting things. And you may need to reach out in the very near future. So I'll go ahead and be quiet and let you tell us about your illustrations.
All right. Well, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how to earn $100 in Bitcoin.
All right. Earn $100 in Bitcoin. She didn't say buy it from her, buy it from me. She didn't say go to the exchange. She said earn $100 in Bitcoin. So we need to be perking our ears. I told you you're going to want to find her. So let's go. Let's see, Raina.
All right. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen now. I spoke to one of my customers the other day, and she is an accounting professional, and she now charges like 0.00545 Bitcoin per hour instead of what she was charging before. So and she said, any customer who doesn't want to pay me in Bitcoin, then they don't get to do business with me. They need to find a new accountant.
Wow.
It's happening.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
All right. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, we can definitely see your screen.
So this is app.gilded.finance.
And repeat that one more time for those that are on Clubhouse.
app.gilded, Gilded, .finance.
All right. Thank you.
All right. So I am creating a new account. This is a free account. All right.
And just so you all know, while she's filling that out, this is Raina from Gilded, and she is talking to us today about how to incorporate the use of Bitcoin and accept Bitcoin in your business and all those fabulous things. And so we're super excited to have her today. She's going through setting up an app and showing us how we can earn $100 in Bitcoin, which is incredible. And so she just is about to hit the next button. So I'll go ahead and let her jump back in.
All right. So the first screen that you saw was just the basics. And also I picked a base currency, which my base currency is the US dollar, because that is the currency I pay taxes in.
Right.
So now I am going to grab this address. So everyone is familiar with a Bitcoin address. So I'm just going to input a Bitcoin address. Oops. It's my wallet address. Add account. I'm going to skip the tour because I know how to use the app, but you should take it.
So take the tour so you're not calling customer service trying to figure out how to earn this $100 worth of Bitcoin, right?
And you do not have to call customer service because customer service is right here in the corner of the app. As a matter of fact, you might recognize that person on that picture. It's me.
Oh, awesome, awesome. So now you know how to get a hold of her aside of social media. So
yes, ma'am.
All right. All right.
So what I'm going to do is I am going to create an invoice to receive $100.
Mm-hmm.
Right? New invoice. What you'll put in here is my email. RAINA at BILDED.FINANCE. That's my email. Save contact. That's all you need in there.
Okay.
All right. What's the reason for this invoice? Win $100 in Bitcoin, of Bitcoin. When is that payment due? You can mark it tomorrow. It doesn't matter. What currency? US dollar.
Mm-hmm.
Where should the payment go? That should go to the Bitcoin address that I entered when I first signed up.
Right.
All right. Pay me $100. Send invoice.
So,
Ta-da! This invoice was emailed to Raina at gilded.finance.
so let me stop you right there really quickly since we have a couple of people on the audience. So I'm a business owner and I want to figure out how I can invoice my clients right now today and get paid in Bitcoin. So I open up a Gilded account, I attach a wallet, and immediately I can send an invoice with the use of an email address and send out an invoice for $100 in either Bitcoin or Ethereum.
Or ERC20 tokens, including stable coins.
Okay. Well, thank you for clarifying that. So any ERC20 token or stable coin that is available on the market, you should be able to invoice anyone for that. So maybe you don't want Bitcoin, which is not my recommendation. And maybe you want another ERC20 token. You can use Gilded to actually collect that. Maybe you are a barber or a beauty shop, or you have a pop-up because it looks like can this be, it says app, so can this be used on your cell phone?
We're almost there, but not quite.
Okay.
You can pay an invoice on your phone, but creating one on your phone is a little bit more complicated.
Okay. All right. So I'll let you finish with your presentation. Just try to bring people up to speed here.
So what I've done here is sent out this invoice, right? And when the whoever it went to, which will go to me, shows up in my email, this is what I'll see.
Wow. Okay.
So we created this so we can share it in Telegram, or you can share it in a Twitter message or whatever. So you can actually drop a link to this invoice to me in a social media direct message.
So this can be used as a social media tool too, because anybody who may want the world to pay an invoice, right? Somebody can pick this invoice up and pay it. You just gave me another thought as a nonprofit company.
Oh, I just spoke with a nonprofit yesterday who were working who were working to help with this exact same thing. They also want to pay their employees in crypto, and we're helping with that too.
Wow. So and again, this is Gilded, Gilded. So you all know. And give us this app link again, please.
app.gilded.finance.
.finance.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So on the other side, so I see something interesting on this invoice. So I'm just going to talk about it so that our business owners know how they can go about utilizing this. I mean, that was really quick. But it says that the invoice needs to be paid for 103, if I'm not mistaken. Is that 103?
It doesn't. It just says 100.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's my screen resolution. Oh, yep. There we go. So it's $100. So
Yep.
of this, you're gonna go ahead and pay invoice, or were you going to stop there?
I can, if I click pay invoice, because both are my addresses. So, and I click Bitcoin, right? What Gilded does is tells me that $100 worth of Bitcoin right now is 0.00309.
Mm-hmm.
And if I click Bitcoin, then I can just use this QR code and pay this. I can use a wallet from my phone and pay this invoice. We're not in the flow of funds. Gilded does not touch your Bitcoin or your money. So you will use your own wallet. I would use my own wallet to pay this invoice. Or
Okay.
that makes sense?
Yes, it absolutely does. And that's awesome. So you would confirm the payment. How
Yep.
would you like to pay? And with BTC. Oh, so what is that? No, let me go back. I'm just I'm intrigued because I like this. It says invoice. Oh, that was your invoice. I was going to say win 100 of BTC. So how are you winning that 100 of BTC? By the
So,
way,
so everyone who sends me an invoice will be entered to win $100 worth of Bitcoin from us.
wow.
And we will put you in a randomizer, and one person will be chosen. And how long should I give everyone? Till
Till
tomorrow afternoon?
Oh, you're gonna do tomorrow afternoon. I was gonna make everybody that's listening go ahead and get a Gilded account right now. Because well,
We can
we'll sweeten the deal. We'll let them go till tomorrow. Then that means you can tell all your friends to open a Gilded account too. Well, that would take away from your chances to win this $100 though, folks. So you might we want to use Gilded, but so if you go to app.gilded, and I'm going to say it again because you have a chance to win the $100 in BTC by going to app.gilded, Gilded.finance. For those of you that are on the Clubhouse, and then if you send an invoice, and you have to send that invoice, and Erica, if you can write her email address down, you're gonna pull from that, right? That's what we need from you, Raina.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What's your email address?
Raina, Raina,
Mm-hmm.
at
Mm-hmm.
gilded.finance, Gilded.finance.
All right. And I'll repeat that at the end again. And ladies and gentlemen, you are the only ones that are hearing this. And what that means is one of us that are listening right now will be the recipient of $100 in BTC. And based on what I think BTC is going to do by next year, I think this winning of $100 could just possibly be like the lottery, right?
Absolutely.
Yes. So
Just like my $5 from 2016.
yes, 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 yes. Just like her $5 from 2016. And if you did not hear about that story, you can go back on YouTube and watch it. She's there on YouTube, and we're on Clubhouse as well. So Raina, how does it feel to actually work for a cryptocurrency company? Like what? How does it feel compared to the traditional workspace?
Well, I guess the way to best describe it is I didn't want to work 8 to 5 anymore. So now I work 24/7, 365. That's pretty much it.
I have to laugh at that one. I have to definitely laugh at that one. That is my life in a nutshell as well. So yes,
Yes.
but I love this space because it's innovative. I love this space because you are always being creative. If it doesn't exist, you make it up. Like this is a fabulous space to be in, and I really cannot imagine as a business owner where or what I would be doing in the traditional world if I wasn't doing cryptocurrency. It's like, as quiet as it's kept, and most people don't say it this way, but cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, a lot of this stuff is really like a lifestyle now because you seek to do different changes as you go. So, what's been the biggest adjustment you've had to make? And what's the biggest adjustment that you've had to make being in the crypto ecosystem?
More computer work.
More computer work?
So
Yes.
my life before was a lot of business networking. I actually teach entrepreneurs how to network and grow their businesses here in New Orleans. And, it wasn't just COVID, but even before COVID, all of my meetings are online because, in the morning at 6:30 in the morning, I'm talking to someone in Singapore, and at 8 o'clock at night, I'm talking to someone in Australia, and just everywhere in between. So all the meetings being moved to computers, I miss that face-to-face connection that I had with working for a local business.
Mm-hmm.
But the best thing about it probably revolves a little bit around COVID, because in here in our little computer screen, in our computer world and in our Bitcoin world, even while everything was just going to, haywire with COVID, there was excitement. There was, everyone was just still happy to be here. Right.
Right.
But then I would go and meet with people or friends or what have you, or my sister, and outside of crypto, and they were so angry, and they were so annoyed, like with everything going on, and they're just so bogged down by it. A lot of them weren't working. People were losing their jobs, and there was no toilet paper. I mean,
Yeah.
and while our little community of crypto, we still had a lot we were thankful for and happy about on a daily basis, and helping each other get through this. And a lot of people didn't have that, and they don't.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that those are the two big differences it's made in my life.
Yes, yes, yes. And I agree. The crypto ecosystem has brought a whole entirely new family into my husband and my lives. And it's just phenomenal to have like-minded people, all pushing for a cause and really beginning to understand each other and helping each other. Like, this has been the most giving space I've ever been in. I've been an entrepreneur for 25 years. I was in financial services. It is dog eats dog. It has always been, you don't want to share any information with somebody because, you're thinking that they're going to take your clients and do these things. And then when I got into the space of crypto as a business owner, like, people were literally saying, hey, I paid my attorney $30,000 for this document, but I'm willing to give it to you so that you don't have to pay that $30,000. You just, change it around, tweak it, use it. Like, I have never in my life had such a open type of a relationship with people I don't know. And so, and now the onus is on me to give that back to the community as well, because it was done for me. And not just because it was done for me, but this is the time. And people really, as you get into this crypto space, you'll start to see, and to those of you that don't know, that this is really a different group of folks. And I really appreciate being a part of it. And I'm excited.
I mean, me too. This is my first time being an entrepreneur. So I've been in B2B sales since the early 90s. And this was my first time actually, owning my own business. So there, I guess that's another huge change.
Yeah, that is a huge change, a huge change. And so, what would you say to not just a woman, what would you say to anyone that's listening right now that is thinking about starting a cryptocurrency business or blockchain or something in this whole ecosystem, that's really kind of not knowing what to do? Because I'm going to say this and I'm going to say it and make sure you hear me. There is no roadmap because nobody's done what you've done before. What would you like to say to those people?
I would ask them what they're passionate about. It's not important to start a cryptocurrency business. Start a business that you're passionate about, and accept cryptocurrency for payment. Starting your own business is difficult. I mean, it is the greatest challenge that I've ever faced. But at the same time, it's so rewarding that when I hated working back in the day, I was just, I couldn't wait till 5 o'clock. I was staring at the clock, waiting for 5 o'clock so I could run out of there. Now I'm just like, oh, I'm only working for 1 more minute. I'm only working for 10 more minutes. I just have a couple more things to send out. I've got to get back to this person today, where I would never have done that before, when I was working a job 8 to 5.
Yes.
And how does that feel? It feels incredible, stressful, uprising, uplifting, gut-wrenching, and heartbreaking, and then exciting and ready to click. You're always ready to take on the world. And so find something you're passionate about and accept crypto for payment.
Yes.
And I can help you with the accounting.
Well, that's awesome. And we'll definitely, again, be making sure that we are chiming in. Again, Raina is giving away $100 worth of Bitcoin, but you have to do a couple different things. You need to go to app.gilded.finance, and Gilded is spelled Gilded.finance. And then once you set up an account, you have to send her an invoice for $100 worth of BTC to Raina at Gilded.finance. And her name is spelled Raina at Gilded Finance. But I do want to stop and say this, ladies and gentlemen, because she said something key. But I want to just add, when you're passionate about what you're doing, when you are passionate about what you are doing and the business that you start, it is really not like work. And I put in so many hours, as does Raina, as do many business owners. And when you love what you do, the time passes quickly. You look up and it's midnight. And then you look up and you wake up because you're excited about the day, and it's 4 in the morning. And those things happen because you're making things happen, and you're enjoying what you do. So please get involved in something that you're passionate about. This is the time. I think that there's no better time in history than to start your own business. So even if you're on Clubhouse or you're here on YouTube and you have not started your own business, look at what you can do. Just take baby steps. Just get started. Just step out on faith and just know that if you take the first step, the universe will start to bring things into your space and really, I have to say it over and over because I have a couple of friends that are true manifestors that sit there and just manifest. But I have to say this, you can also be a manifester that works and brings things into existence. And I really feel like that's been my path. I believe in manifestation. I believe what you think about most and what you do in your actions in your everyday life draws people towards you. And look here, we got Raina on the screen with this fabulous company that we're all going to start an account with today because it doesn't cost you anything, but it will allow you to accept Bitcoin in your business and send an invoice immediately. It will also allow those of you that are employees to send an invoice to your employer and tell them you want to be paid in Bitcoin. Hint, hint. I'm looking over here. I'm looking over here.
Be careful what you wish for.
Be careful what you wish for. And really, it would be a great thing to really see, all of our community accepting Bitcoin for whatever it is you're doing. Selling T-shirts at a flea market. I mean, it's unlimited what you can do. The best thing to really understand too is you never want to miss a Bitcoin sale, because what if somebody comes up to you and they say, "Do you accept Bitcoin?" And you're like, "Dang, it's that thing Raina and Najah were telling me about 6 months ago, and there goes that client for the $5,000 sale." I mean, I don't know what it. I mean, people literally are buying houses with Bitcoin. People are buying cars. They're everything.
You just need an app on your phone.
Yeah, that's it.
Download an app on your phone.
Download.
Anyone can do it. You don't have to be approved by the bank. There's no Bitcoin bank for you to ask for approval from, or walk in there and have some snobby banker look down on you in your face. I don't know how many people have been through that, but I know it happens more across the world. Yeah, me too. Entrepreneurship is the killer app for Bitcoin and crypto. Yes. Anyone can start a business and start receiving crypto for payment today. You can have a side hustle. Anything that you do to make money, well, can you pay me in Bitcoin? From there, lots of problems that we have in this world today that we are looking to be regulated away can be solved by more entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Because that shrinks the work pool.
Yes.
And the people who are going to work for, the corporations, they can command more money because there are fewer workers to choose from, because you can't compete with entrepreneurship. If someone is passionate about entrepreneurship, you start your own business, someone can't sell you on a job that they're underpaying you for. You better pay me because I can go make my own money. And so
Yes.
that's what I feel. That's how I feel about crypto and the entire crypto industry.
Yes, yes, yes. And so I appreciate that. That was a fabulous word. I think I was going to say if you had any last words, but that was incredible what you just said. We appreciate you. I do want to open up the floor on Clubhouse for anyone that may have a question. I see a couple hands raised. So I'm going to go ahead and let them up on the stage. Um, and if this individual is ready to ask a question, we will take that question. And before I take his question, I want to make sure that everybody is pressing the greenhouse above Raina's head to become a member of the Black Bitcoin Billionaires, where you get this type of information almost nightly. We have different things that we do. Today is our Bitcoin Business Basics with Raina Kelts. And you can follow her on social media. The company is Gilded, Gilded. Please make sure that you follow her. And he put his hand down. I had a suspicion he was just going to haggle us anyways, because he didn't have anything set up on his profile. So anybody on Clubhouse that has any questions for Raina today, please raise your hand. This is a great time. And I'll repeat it really quickly so we can all get our app downloaded. And Gilda, I'm going to also just let you know, I'll be putting this on my website for the business owners so that they can just click right in. I know they're not going to invoice you for 100, because those of us that are only on here today will get a chance to get in the drawing for tomorrow. But you're going to go to app.gilded, Gilded.finance. Once you set up that account, you're going to email a $100 invoice for Bitcoin to Raina, Raina.
Hey. Yes, ma'am.
At Gilded.finance. So please do that. And again, if you're so generous enough to tell any other business owner you know about the app, you might not necessarily want them to invoice her because you don't want to make your chances slim, but you can definitely tell every business owner. I know that I'm going to tell my barber how he can start accepting Bitcoin quickly through using the Gilded app. And I really appreciate Erica, who reached out to you to get this information for the community. You know, we have an incredible team here at Crypto Blockchain Plug. And we just really, Raina, appreciate you for coming on. This was incredible, this is an incredible app. You have an incredible story. And I wish that we all can, those that are single, because I have my knight in shining armor. You have your knight in shining Bitcoin that
Yes,
you
sir.
found.
Yes,
So,
I do.
so I hope that you all find your knight in shining armor. In the space or out of the space. Well, it's easier in the space because then you don't have to convince them what Bitcoin is and how Bitcoin works and all those things. So
Well, they don't have to put up with your hours either.
yes. Well, I don't see any questions, Raina, so we're going to go ahead. Somebody does have a question on the screen.
So I see that question. And the question is, what's the difference between a bill and an invoice? So an invoice is a request for payment. So I am requesting, or actually you are requesting $100 from me. A bill is, let's say you receive, or you have to pay someone, but you're sending it using your phone. You don't have the data that you need around that transaction for your accountant, because the first thing your accountant's going to ask you for is, what is this 0.00300 Bitcoin? What's that for? And you're like, I don't know. So that's what the bill is for. So you just add the data around the transaction so that your accountant won't hate you.
Okay. Well, and while you're talking and he asked that question, I literally just thought of two use cases for for your company and my company. And we're on Bitcoin Business Basics, so I'm just going to share it. So the first use case I just thought about was the fact that we're an over-the-counter exchange that sells Bitcoin. But because we're the over-the-counter exchange, we have people that ask us how they can dollar cost average with us. We can literally on a monthly basis or weekly, whatever they tell us, send them an invoice for that amount. They can pay that invoice. No, well, they could pay that. Well, they would be paying it in BTC. So maybe that would, I'm trying to think how that how that may, can they pay it with fiat dollars?
So we have credit card and wire. There are options for credit card and wire transfer. You can add we have a Stripe integration, and then you can. So
just
I don't know, but there's something to talk about. There's something to talk about there for sure.
Something to talk about. Now the second one, again, because I know a lot of people in our communities right now have nonprofit organizations because there's so many things that are happening where people need help and assistance. And I was just thinking about, let's just say a mom. Because I don't run this and I have a crypto kids camp, but I'm just saying maybe I'm in a domestic violence program where maybe a mom needs a new bed. We can put an invoice out on social media to help pay for that bed, and somebody can send that in Bitcoin and we can pay for that bed. Like, I'm just thinking of all the possibilities. Like,
this you can definitely do that.
Awesome. Okay.
Because once the invoice is paid, it will update itself to paid.
Okay, that is awesome. And then if somebody else comes along on social media and they try to pay the invoice, it's already been paid.
Yes. Okay. And Ernest, we don't charge a fee. It's non-custodial. So everything is SaaS with software as a service. And so it would be a straight monthly fee that you can pay monthly, quarterly, or annually in crypto or fiat, but we don't charge a transaction fee.
Okay. Well, this is awesome information. And if we don't have any further questions, Raina, I would really like to thank you for coming on Bitcoin Business Basics with Crypto Blockchain Plug. We're excited. We will be doing business to business, definitely doing business to business. And we appreciate you and are looking forward. We'll definitely be signing up. Every one of our employees I know needs that additional $100 worth of BTC, and they can earn it today by doing the by going ahead to, and I'm going to say it again because a couple people just got on. You can earn $100 worth of Bitcoin between now and tomorrow afternoon, because Raina is going to do a drawing for those who send her an invoice for $100 in BTC. So you have to go to, and I'll say it really quick, app.gilded, GILDED.finance. And once you go there, you set up an account, you make a $100 invoice, and you send it to the email Raina, RAINA, at gilded.finance. And tomorrow afternoon, what time are you going to do that, Raina, so we can look out for you?
I was actually looking at my calendar because maybe you and I can do it on the phone together.
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
That would be cool. I'm actually live on LinkedIn tomorrow afternoon. So for IT professionals doing the same kind of thing. How about 11:30? Or you're in California, huh?
Yes.
You're on Pacific time. So 10 a.m. your time?
10 a.m. my time will be awesome.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you again, Miss Raina Casbon-Kelts with Gilded, for coming on today. You have an incredible rest of your day. And to everybody on YouTube and Facebook and Clubhouse, we again appreciate you for giving us the time, your time, because we know that that is most precious. And we hope that something that you heard today or was said that could really help you in your life and actually help you start a business if that's where you needed to be. But with that being said, again, thank you, Raina. Have an incredible rest of your night.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody.